Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossy. Rossy, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with a story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids Hunters.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossy, and Curly
on the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and welcome to episode 217 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are three old blokes with one obsession, and that's music that matters. Unfiltered chats with undiscovered artists. Every week on the pod, it is guitars, grit, and the good stuff that you're not going to hear on mainstream radio. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. And wherever you're listening or watching, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who needs some new music in their life. Hey, we've got a big show. This was the show that was supposed to happen last Wednesday, but our guest got caught up with some Northern Territory distractions. We're thinking a couple of crocodiles or something invaded the house.
A couple of Darwin stubbies.
Took her out of action, but we've got Melanie Gray with us tonight. But before we hit up with Melanie Gray, Braggy can't be with us tonight, so we do have our country music correspondent, Big Stu, in the house.
Literally.
We couldn't get his set.
Big Stu rolls in like a westbound train, dust on his boots, stories in his brain. He's got a voice like gravel, rough and low, knows the roads where the wild winds blow. He's seen it all, from the highs to the pain, every bar, every back row lane. Big Stu, tell me what you've seen. The whiskey nights, the faded dreams, a heart that's open, raw and true. Country music lives in you, Big Stu.
Literally. We couldn't get his setup working, Rossy, so he's sitting here having a beer because he's now officially retired too, right? So he's got no work in the morning, so... and of course, sitting there in the capital city, how are you, Rossy?
I'm pretty good, mate. I'm pretty good. Having a fun time. You know, been very hot down here. Very hot. Yeah. It's
Australian Open time, so we've got friends in Melbourne that are complaining about how great the weather is at the moment too. So it's always good for the tennis, I think. So
last week we had a day here, 110.
Yeah, Fahrenheit.
110 here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Celsius.
Still working on the old.
Did you still work on Fahrenheit?
Right. I know our audience. I've got a couple of old blokes there, so they get
it. It is Tamworth week, so it is. It's been an awesome week.
It's appropriate to have Stu here.
Sorry, what's that?
It's appropriate to have Stu here because it's Tamworth.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. It very is. But some of their live concerts, I mentioned it on our last show, they are fantastic with their live concerts on YouTube. And it was really cool to see some of the people we've had on the show strutting their stuff. On Saturday night, they had the Girls' Night Out concert. Jay Santilli was on the list, but the headliner was Tory Dark. So both of them have been on the show talking about their single Trouble. And one that I know that has been a repeat visitor to the show, Josie from Townsville, was in the Star Maker top 10 concert the other night. So didn't win the big prize, but an awesome experience, no doubt. So it's great to see people that we know and have enjoyed a laugh and a chat with doing well.
Who are we really looking out for this week, Stu?
I haven't had a good look at. I know was it Jared Wrigley won the Star Maker, and for all the ladies out there listening, he was on Farmer Wants a Wife, just the last version of Farmer Wants a Wife, playing his music, trying to get his ugly mug on the screen. So it worked, obviously. So so he's had a win. So other than that, no, I'm sticking with my Brendan Bradford. I hope he does farewell. So he'll do well.
And he's up for traditional album of the country album of the year, alongside our good friend Tom Curtin.
Yep.
And of course, this is where we met. Yeah, this is, as Rossy said last week, it's almost becoming the Tom Curtin show, right? So, which is where we met our guest. Melanie Gray was on the supporting act at Fig Tree Pocket when Tommy Curtin came to town here in Brisbane. She's a modern Australiana singer-songwriter, and she's had a life of adventures, and her songs reflect a real appreciation of Aussie landscapes and culture. And if I'm honest, they've got a real sense of home about them. So welcome to the show, Mel.
Hi, thank you.
So Mel, we've been had a bit more time than usual to go into your back catalogue and have a listen. But what's really interesting to us, we know that you like sport, we know you live in the Northern Territory, but like when did the light go on for you? When did you realise that what you want to do is what you're doing now, like music? When did that become your thing?
I think even since I was a kid, I was always singing and performing, and growing up I was always doing acting classes or music or drama or something. But the one thing that stuck, I was born in Sydney and we lived on the south coast of New South Wales when I was little. And then we moved to Darwin when I was about 11, and a lot of that performing arts stuff at the time wasn't quite as big to keep continuing with it. But singing and music has always stuck with me. And yeah, so I did music all the way through high school, and then probably about my early 20s, I found my way into my first band, and I've been doing it professionally ever since.
What was your first band like? What were they like?
Oh, it's really cool. I'm still gigging with some of them today, actually. So we started out in the Territory doing a lot of the nightclubs, pubs and things. I actually got on board with them because I knew this group of guys just from word of mouth and seeing them perform all the time, because I'd go to town and see my favourite band. And I knew that they usually have a female singer and they were missing someone. And so I was like praying to God a little bit, and then a few other things just aligned. And I always wanted to be a country singer, and I always wanted to sing at rodeos and things like that. And they approached me in the set break once and was like, hey, how do you feel about maybe singing a few country songs with us at a rodeo in a month or so's time? And I was like, yes. And so they were the first band that really gave me a shot, and I learned a lot in that band. We were called Cold Sweat, so we were an 80s party band. So a lot of Madonna, all the pop rock stuff from the 80s. So I learned a lot with them. They gave me my wings and let me figure out how to work a crowd and things like that. It was good.
Crowd work. It's it's very hard. It's an underutilized skill, crowd work.
There's a lot of psychology involved.
Yeah,
I believe it. Now, Mel, talking about crowd work, you and Chriso did a fair bit. We had Chris on the show a couple of weeks back, and very unique character. But had you worked with Chris before? Because it seemed very natural up there on stage with both of you.
We've been mates for a really long time. I actually met him with Lynn and Luke O'Shea came to Darwin and did a show, and I'd done the Academy of Country Music sometime before then, and he happened to come up to the Territory with them. We're all hanging out, actually went out to a place called Douglas Hot Springs. We were camping together. So I met Chris that way, but the tour that I was just on with Tom Curtin was the first time that Chris and I had actually been able to sing together and perform together. So it was really nice, and I think he's a phenomenal, amazing musician and such a clever songwriter. And I just like how unique and grounded he is. And it was really nice. It just worked so well between us because it was like performing with your best friend up there.
Yeah, so knowing how Tom's shows go, what are your extra gigs? What do you do? What do you do on the show as well as we know everyone does a bit of everything.
Yeah. It was a great time for me. It was kind of good to break up the regular cover scene in the Territory, to step back out and actually get to sing my own songs again. So, but being able to be there, I was, me and Chris were basically like roadies, and then during the week I'd actually help Tom and Annabelle's son Harry. I'd be helping him with School of the Air, and basically it's just a big camping trip with friends, and there was a few new challenges that come with all that, but also on the whole, it was just nice to actually be able to sing my own songs again, and with people around me that were really supportive and fun to work with.
Excellent. So you do a bit of covers work up in up the top end?
Yeah. It's just part of my full-time job is the cover scene up here. But I think, again, just being able to get out, I'm kind of itching to get down south maybe this year. I would like to actually be around the country music community a bit more, is kind of where I'm thinking life might be taking me soon.
Excellent. Stewie?
I noticed, Mel, you mentioned it before, you used to do some 80s covers. I was flicking through online yesterday, and I noticed that you've got that your repertoire is on there, and it must be from Darwin, and there's probably I don't know 150 songs, and a lot of them were 80s. So I'm assuming that's why you continue to do that.
Yeah, I think in music, I mean, Australian country is what is the genre I've chosen to go down as an original artist, as opposed to any other one. But there's still something really fun. I've probably got a million songs from when I was like, I'm going to be 40 this year. So I've got like nearly 20 years worth of covers I've been singing my whole life. And some even back then, I'm still singing at every gig today. And you cycle through, and there's a few that I used to sing that I sit there going, maybe we should do Madonna again, or maybe we should do this again. But you kind of got to go with how crowd trends move as well, and try to be relevant too. So
exactly.
Look, 40, that means you're very young.
Yes.
I'm 39 plus 1.
So's my mother-in-law, actually. My mother-in-law's still 39, she tells me.
Yeah, I think I'll be 39 for a while.
So you're a working musician. Your full-time gig is music.
Yeah.
That's lucky.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that they make a living out of music. That's a big achievement, Yeah.
We're pretty lucky in the Territory, I think, even over COVID, like a lot of our events, because we were locked down, even isolated, but our venues still kept running. And I think because we're a capital city, we really are a small town. And so we usually have our groups of people that we know and we work with, and all the bands. We're kind of like a big family. And so a lot of the venues know, if you put on this person here, you're going to have that person there. So it's a pretty healthy scene up here to be a part of, and venues pay good money for artists to do it, for the artists that do a good job anyway. So it's why it's tricky to not want to leave, because we get really looked after up here. So
look, we've all been having a listen to your back catalogue and the stuff you've released, and as you dive into who you've worked with to get some of those recordings done, there's some pretty heavy hitters on there. Gina Jeffreys, the like, but it's the quality shows, and actually to my ears, because as Braggy and Curly and probably Stu would be, I do have a little bit more of a rock and roll background, but I hear. I start to hear the acoustic trad instruments, trad country instruments, and it doesn't sound like modern pop country, but it sounds like contemporary country to me. How'd you come about working with people like that, and what difference do you reckon it made to you?
I think working. I actually moved to Armidale, New South Wales, to study music, probably when I was in my mid-20s, and straight after that, I could have come home. I was very homesick. But I saw Gina Jeffreys was advertising her workshops, and so I thought I'll go. And I have family that live on the Central Coast, so I thought I'll go over there. I'll get in touch with them and see. But I was a bit older then a lot of her classes were for younger students. So I just did a full day one-on-one with her and Rod, and just we had a really good time and I learned a lot. And so then I thought, right, before I go back to Darwin, I'm going to move to the Central Coast and live with my auntie, and I'm going to do one-on-one weekly workshops with Gina and actually Max Jackson at the time. So I would meet with her and Max once a week, and we'd do everything from learning how to do radio interviews to basically writing an album's worth of songs together. And I still haven't been able to record some of those songs, but the ones that I have put out are, definitely. I think they really had a way of letting me stay who I was through songwriting, and so does Rod. I would basically record it just on our phone on the guitar with Max and Gina, and it really just we just all clicked really easily. And the way that the things that Max brought and Gina brought to my ideas, and Calling Me Home was my first song, probably still my favorite, and it was my I'm so homesick for Darwin. And it took me ages to be able to sing it without crying, but that chorus is my favorite. And Max, I had all the ideas and even some chord progressions and stuff, and the chorus just fell out as soon as Max just started singing it. And she's a absolutely phenomenal singer-songwriter in her own right. But it's a bit of an honor to have those two amazing ladies, very talented, very well-respected women in the scene, that have helped me develop my sound and the songs that I love to put out.
Sounds really good stuff, I reckon. What do you think,
it is. It's, there's a real homely feel around your music. Calling Me Home, Outback Christmas, even Throw Out My Line, even though it's a bit it Lakewood. It's you can see
it's
that.
It's a fishing song.
Family, right? But my favourite song that is out there and is Drive Slow.
Yeah.
So tell me about where that song came from, because to me, I think there's such a real subtle message. I mean, there's a strong message, but there's a real subtle message that sits in behind it.
I think for me personally, again, like I've been single for a long time, and especially when I was younger, and you find it really hard to meet people that align with you in your way of life. And so Drive Slow for me, I've grown up in the territory and I'm a territory girl. So part of that song was, sometimes I go on dates with guys that wouldn't even know how to put up a tent. So you're going like, is this guy a guy or is he not a guy? But also I feel like my whole life, that's a bit mean, but my whole life I always feel more grounded in myself when I'm out in nature. And so developing those real connections with people, I'm so much more at home when I'm outside of a formal dating setting where you're sitting in a restaurant and you're all putting in your best behavior. But what do you really like when you go on an adventure? And I think there's something about nature, and especially the territory where you have some amazing landscapes, going for an adventure up a waterfall or driving down a four-wheel drive track, and you can just really relax and just be yourselves and see if you click. And I think also the other message, especially for young girls, is also the pressure to take things further than you need to go straight away.
If we leave now, we can beat the heat. It's 100 miles from here at least. The morning sunrise in my rear view, my morning tide eyes looking at you. You could take the wheel, maybe I'll fall asleep. We could take all day, don't have to hurry. We could drive slow, take our time.
It's and I love the song. Stewie, we're hogging, not giving you
on. It's all good. So, Mel, I noticed there's a fair bit online about you being aligned, I suppose, or matched up to John Williamson and Graeme Connors. How does that sit?
Oh, that's nice. I've grown up listening to their music. Graeme Connors especially is probably one of the key reasons that I've always wanted to stay as an Australian country artist with my own songs. I could have gone down the road. I could have been a pop singer or R&B or whatever, but I think when I was a kid, our family, we went on a big trip around Australia. Sometimes families do in this country. We did our little trip around Australia. But my parents were very passionate about us not just sitting in a car and being bored. So everywhere we go, my mum would develop like a little history lesson on where we'd go and what we'd learn. And then like we'd be listening to like Graeme Connors, like Lee Kernaghan, Troy Cassar-Daley, John Williamson, all the way around, and visiting all the places that they were singing about, especially back in their earlier careers. And so I still remember a really poignant moment was listening to The Great Australian Dream while you're at the Stockman's Hall of Fame and exploring all that. I really think there's something about outback Queensland that holds a lot of the history of Australia, and it's a really special place. So when you team that up with music, for me personally, I was like, I love singing pop and I love singing R&B, but there's nothing that really makes me feel like I have a purpose, like trying to be another artist to continue on some of those stories.
Do you hear that, Rossy? Queensland special.
Yep.
Yeah, I've always found Queenslanders to be very special.
We won't go into that.
You know that I've always loved Queenslanders.
Yeah, I know, Rossy. I know. You've got some of the best people in life are Queenslanders. So, so Mel, are you writing at the moment? Are you preparing for some new music while you're obviously busy doing your covers? Do you still find that space to write?
Yeah, so the last few years I've actually gone down to Melbourne and done some workshops with Carter and Carter. And so I've written some beautiful songs with Lynn Botel and Greta Zilla and a few and David Carter and Marilyn. And I think I'm sitting on a lot of things that I would like to get recorded, but for me at the moment it just comes down to finances and timing, unfortunately. So I would love to put an album out this year, but I'm hoping that maybe at least a song would be good. It's been a long time.
Well, yeah, the new business model of music makes it really, really hard, right? Like we understand that a large body of work like an album, people do love it, but unfortunately the way people consume music these days is different. That they don't listen to an album sequentially, they'll graze on a track here and there. And so you go and spend a lot of money on an album. I was listening to a girl yesterday in Europe who spent €45,000 on making an album, right?
Wow.
And 12 songs, and one or two of them might get the love they deserve. 10 songs won't. No one can afford to do that. I actually am missing a tracking session tonight. Our lead singer is actually laying down vocals for his album tonight. But I've sent along my specialist vocal coach. He's in there working with him, actually.
Nice. I feel very honoured.
It's better off he's in there than me, I tell you, because I just get bored in the studio, to be honest. But it's just me.
Yeah.
That's where the grumpy old man comes out, doesn't it, Rossy?
It does. But like I see that your catalogue, you haven't released a lot for a while, but it is really expensive. And then to give it the love, the promotional love it deserves, that costs more resources as well. It's hard
in this current financial climate to go,
yes,
do I prioritize life bills or
food, or do I eat, or do I put a song out?
Can I afford cheese?
It's true. What's your take on it? Like an album, it's a big undertaking, very expensive. So you've got a couple of shots in the locker. You reckon are really good goers?
I think personally, I think an album is probably too far out of what I need to be doing even at the moment. Like I'd like to be doing another couple of singles, maybe even another EP would be good, and then build up. I think because I feel like I've been out of the original scene for a while, I might need to start building up an audience again. So I think just trying to create and come up with different ways, because like social media is a huge part of it. So unless you really have all the tools to make that one song a success, if you're going to spend money on that one song, it costs a lot. You'd have to think about all the different ways that it's going to be viewed and listened to. So one, you've got to have the stamina to follow through. Two, you've got to have something to follow it up with. Three, you've got to be able to do it well and do it quality. And especially I personally feel like I've been writing and recording with people that are at the top of the industry in Australia, and I want nothing but to be someone that can reflect that quality as well. And so it's something that it will be a work in progress. And I hope something comes out this year. but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Your other recordings are certainly premium quality, wouldn't you agree, guys? Like they're good sounding records. They're not. And so anything would be a backwards step.
Well, that was Rod McCormack. That was Rod. Yeah. So I think even my choice to go that way, I was like, well, I could spend a little bit of money on someone that, might do a good job, but then that little bit of money doesn't go anywhere. So for me, it's like, I've wrote the song to Gina, but Rod's recorded them, and he pretty much did everything on those tracks. So because he's amazing, so he produced them, played every instrument, everything was all Rod. So, and it also made it so much easier for me because it was just me and him in a studio figuring it out together, and me learning and listening basically because he's Rod McCormack and he's amazing.
We hear that often on this show, believe me.
Yeah, sure do.
The amount of people that have been produced by Rod is incredible. Hey, I do have a question about Chris Butt because when he was on the show, he says he's got 4 albums coming out this year, and one of them includes a metal album. Now, I'm still unsure whether he was just taking the piss and leading us on, or whether that is
wasn't.
If you know Chris, he's definitely not taking the piss. Chris is a blend of so many different textures and colors and musical repertoire. So if he says he's bringing out a metal album, he's definitely bringing out a metal album.
He did talk about his shred credentials.
Well, that's his background, and that's his upbringing, but that's his foundation, isn't it? The metal stuff. Do you agree with his mantra of bring back the mandolin?
Oh, I do. I've heard him play mandolin, like playing with me. And yeah, I think absolutely. And like we're talking about his shredding and heavy metal stuff. And, aside from the sound and the tone, like bluegrass is still like the technicality of all those, riffs and runs and things like that. I can understand why Chris will flip from being the heavy metal to being the king of bluegrass as well. So it's very clever.
Well, the guy who's playing guitar for Motley Crue, a guy called John Five, who's a guitar player, he's a chicken picking shredder. You go see him play. He also plays for Rob Zombie. You see that guy play, he is an absolute chicken picker. When he rips into he'll stop the metal show and do a chicken picking. And he is like probably one of the best I kid you not, one of the best on the planet. Look up John Five. John Lowry, his name is. Unbelievable. There is not much difference between that bluegrass shred chicken pick stuff. Like those players, man, I don't understand I don't know how they play like that. I really don't. They're phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal.
Rossy, I've got to share this with you. I'm sitting next to Stu. He's got the list. He's got highlights. He's done his research, right?
I don't know. It puts us to shame, doesn't it, Curly?
It certainly does, doesn't it?
I wanna see the golden sun sink into the water. The technicolor final curtain of the day. She sure puts on a show with her warm and fiery glow. I wanna see a million stars come out to play. I long to see the painted hands on the red rock, to feel the sacred ground underneath my feet. See a storm light up the sky, rain comes to end the dry. That's the place where my heart longs to be. It's a shout, it's a whisper, it sounds like my favorite song. It's the wind, it's the storm, but staying up and gone too long. It's everything that I've been missing, calling me home.
Doesn't it? Mel, what instruments do you play?
So I play guitar well enough to gig solo. I would say that I don't like saying that I'm a guitarist because I play against people like Chris and them. They're guitarists. I'm like the guitarist from Timu. So, but I can carry a solo gig on my own, and no one's asked me to leave yet. So I'll keep doing that for the moment. But when I first started, I've only been playing guitar and singing. I've always been a singer, but playing guitar professionally has only been since COVID, basically, because I was always a duo, always had worked with a musician, was scared to play in public because it just means that my repertoire is not what it can be when I'm limited to what I can play on the guitar. But I've kind of learned to get over some of those phobias, and it's given me a new freedom. As much as the only thing is I hate listening to myself play guitar for too long. It's me on my own at some of these gigs going, "Oh, will you just shut up, Mel?" But not that I'm not grateful for the work, but it is hard doing solo gigs. Definitely not. I've enjoyed being able to have the skill though, because when I do gig with other musicians and I can play along, that's kind of cool. But then there's also the option where if the song comes up that I just can't play, I just happily put the guitar down and let them do their job, and I'm much more comfortable without it. I'm much more comfortable fronting a band without an instrument in my hand. So, but I can play a bit of keys, bit of drums, bit of everything, but probably guitar and singing.
Okay. If you had a chance to do a duet, if you could pick anyone in your genre to do a duet with, who would you choose and why?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's not Jeopardy special.
So, Mel, just to give you some background, Laura Frank, when she was on the show, Braggy asked her a question, and she said, "That's an excellent question, Braggy." And ever since then, whenever someone says something like that, I don't know, it's just an in-joke, isn't it?
It is.
So,
but Stu's got the mantle.
Big Stu's just got his first. That's a great question.
My first Timu star. There you go.
That's a good question. Yes, exactly. Well, I've been lucky. I got to tour with Sarah Storer a bit last year as well. And so if I ever got to write a song with her, I would love that. She's amazing. We've become really good friends, and our styles and our voices align really well. And I've learned a lot from her too. I think Sarah or Graeme, like I've met him once, but aside from that, it would be kind of really special to be able to sing something with him. There's so many artists at the top of the industry though that I'm friends with, and I would love to be able to do something with all of them. But I think it would be really special to be able to do something with Graeme, who I haven't really spent much time with at all.
Okay, very good,
awesome. This time of year, have you ever been to Townsville or Tamworth?
Tamworth.
Have you been to Tamworth, and does it call you there every year?
I always have FOMO. I have huge FOMO going on now. I'm missing out. No, I've gone to Tamworth a few times. Probably, especially when I moved to Armidale to study music, so I could be close to the festival. And then probably 2019. Tamworth, I did the Academy of Country Music, so I was down there for that. And then 2020, right before everything, that Tamworth was the last one I went to, and that 2020 Tamworth was probably my best one. It was like I had actual gigs in places. I had about 13 appearances everywhere. Carter and Carter had me involved in their gospel show there, and there was a few big things that I was able to be involved in. And again, all gratitude to being able to be a graduate of the Academy as well. So There's a lot of people to thank for my little highlights. But sadly, once COVID hit and everything, being able to afford to get down there and stay down there is just unfortunately hasn't been on the cards again. But again, like I said, hopefully if I can maybe scoot out of Darwin a little bit more this year and be closer to everything and everyone, maybe I might be able to get amongst some of these festivals again, which would be good.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Stewie, last question from you.
No, I haven't got anything at the moment. I'll think of something.
Okay, no worries. I'll throw in a couple. I've started to ask a little bit more to try and understand the well-being of an artist. So from your perspective, Mel, how do you protect your well-being as a working musician?
It's a good question. I think,
yeah, thank you.
you know what, I've actually found big. It's funny going from like being on tour with Tom and like we perform on the 3 nights a week, and then I'm back in Darwin and I might have 5 gigs a week, and I find that I felt even on some of those shows, you have to be really protective of how tired you are. And so I find that I work really late at night, and then I don't like to get up very early in the morning when I'm in the territory. When I was on tour with Tom, it'd be the opposite. We'd be in bed early, I'd be up early in the morning. So it's your body clock constantly changes no matter what kind of rhythm you're in. And if you're not really paying attention to the fact that you do need to stop and rest, is when you can get sick and you can get tired and your voice sounds tired. But I find even in Darwin, I'm singing more regularly. I find that my voice keeps up a lot easier too, because it's like doing any other exercise. Your muscles are constantly working. So as long as I get my little sleep in some mornings, then and I stay healthy, reasonably healthy. I have a bit of a tonic. Do you want to hear what my tonic is?
Go for it.
As soon as I start getting sick, there's like a turmeric blend powder I have, and as soon as I feel like something's going on, then I'll have that with some manuka honey and some cayenne pepper and fresh ginger and fresh lemon, and just even have it as a shot. And I can guarantee 2 days later, I'll be fine.
Oh dear, I can't let my wife hear this, because she does the same stuff. She makes them. She makes these shots, turmeric and pineapple juice is very good for vocals too, right? Pineapple juice.
I put pineapple juice in it too. I make a slushy out of it actually. Put frozen pineapple and all of that stuff. It's yummy. And ginger.
Just out of interest, do you like old school monitors, or do you try working with in-ears?
Oh, so I work with both, but I really still prefer old school monitors. Like the guys that I gig with, depending on the room, depending what it is. If it's a really loud room and it's an actual, or if we're like on a big stage and like sound can get lost and muddy. There's a particular band room in Darwin which was always really hard to hear anything clearly, even though it was loud. But sometimes you can't, like if a guitar's playing, sometimes you like actually can't even hear where the chord is, because I'm hearing this noise. So in rooms like that, the ears were helpful, but I still would have one in and one out, because I feel isolated from a crowd. So I feel like I can't talk to the crowd as easy. But then when we do other gigs, when I just do solo gigs or trio gigs or anything like that, I kind of like having the old school speakers.
It's interesting. Yeah, it is. I'm doing a lot of work in that space at the moment, so it's fascinating to get your take on it too.
So what's the trend, Rossy? What's the industry moving to?
Ears and more ears. What we're building at the moment, we're building a silent stage. So like no amplifiers. The only thing that's live on the stage is a drum kit. You'll hear the drum kit. Yeah. Everything else is silent, just in ears, and away we go. So what happens then is the spill level of everything's down. So the vocals sound better because there's no guitar blaring into that vocal microphone. And so all of a sudden it sounds cleaner at front of house.
Wow.
So that's what it is. Okay. So when you walk past stage, all you'll hear is just a drum kit, nothing else.
Wow. What's the audience experience like?
Well, they're the other side of the PA. I am thinking the two things. One is that you probably need some infill at the front, just in the front of the in the front pushing outwards. And the other one is, and what might help you, Mel, is that you run a couple of ambient mics stage left and right pointing at the audience to pick up their sound, and that gives you a little bit. It changes that isolation.
Yes, yeah. When the boys, if we've got a bit of more of like a corporate gig and there's a bit more time to do an elaborate setup, usually one of the guys in my group, he always sets up a bit of that kind of ambient mic for me, and then we go with the ears. And to be fair, the ears really do keep you honest as a singer. Like you're singing the right note.
And that's exactly right. Yeah. It does help people improve, I reckon. I think I watch bands with the ears, I watch all that sort of stuff now. I think performers are getting better and better all the time. Yeah. I think young performers and overall performers, just monitoring is better. You can hear yourself. There's a lot of stuff around the musical technology. Performers are just better than they were. I listen to shows and I go, that sounds fantastic. But yeah, it's the technology and the budget and all of those things all are factors as well. But ears, I reckon, persevere with them, because in 30 years' time, you'll still be able to hear, whereas you won't be deaf like me.
I'm starting to get a little bit like, what's that?
Well, you are 39. You are 39 plus 1, right?
Exactly.
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 Now, last couple of questions. Just if we were to hit shuffle on your playlist, what is a song that would come up that would potentially surprise us?
You know, I have such an eclectic mix of songs that I like listening to. You're probably going to get even something like Cara Dillon, like an Irish folk songs. I love her. She's one of my favorites.
That fits.
Yeah. And then also probably I would say it would probably go between people like her and Adele and Nora Jones and John Mayer. So I love John Mayer. John Mayer, I usually have him on repeat when I'm at home, and if I'm cooking or in my happy place, I love his lyric writing, and obviously he's an amazing guitarist, but the way that he writes lyrics is so clever, and it's a way of still being so profound but so basic. And I love his songs. Chris and I were actually talking, one of our favorite songs is his song Walt Grace Submarine. And it's such a left of field story about a guy that builds a submarine and people don't think he can. And there's probably a few other things that it's more about. But Chris and I were even saying on tour that that's one of our favorite songs, and it's not something that it's not one of those ones that you're going to hear on radio all the time either. So I love his lyrics.
Absolutely. From if you do put out some new music this year, what are you thinking about the social media side of the business, or the need for artists to get out there and do their TikToks and their Instagram reels? Is that something that excites you around social media?
I'm so bad. I need to get on TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok. So there's one thing that Tom and Annabelle, we'll have a lot of conversations about this on tour, and Annabelle's like, you got to get on TikTok, Mel. I'm like, I know. I'm a bit like, because I'm a bit more of an outdoorsy girl as well, and I don't get to be outdoors enough. I'll be honest. So I find it really hard, and I'm okay. I'm okay at socials, and I'm good at creating content and things, but it has to become a full-time, all-consuming job, and I really struggle with that because I already look at my phone too much as it is. And I go, last thing, it's one thing to create the song and sing the song, but then you've got to do all the other stuff behind the scenes. And if I was a millionaire, I'd pay for someone to come and film me and do it themselves and put it up. But it's another whole, you put in the hours to record it well or to edit the video, but then you're struggling with, I think a lot of the time, half the problem is the social media platforms change so much too. Like you get used to how Instagram and Facebook work, and then you're going, even the way things that you can do on your phone with your copy, with how you write it, or how you can post it, or where you can share it to, and then the next month it'll all change. Oh, suddenly I can't tag people on my phone, but I can tag people on my computer, or I can't tag this person, or I have to be following them to tag them now if I don't do this. So it's just constantly you go, this post will only take me like half an hour, quickly knock something up, and then an hour later you're still there going, why is this not working? So there's the whole, and I think it's something we have to accept. Like it is just for anyone that's self-employed. I think they have to get used to the social media platforms, but it is not easy, and sometimes it can add a level of anxiety to what you do, I think.
Well, the thing about social media is that it's such a hungry beast. It has no memory. You can work your ring out for a month and then stop, and then you've just lost your momentum. The other thing is that a lot of people tend to, and like, you write, you record, you do the video, you get it ready, you release it on day one and you're exhausted. But that's the day you need to start hammering socials and go hard for the next 30 days. And who's got the energy for that? Because you've got to go and do gigs and make money to keep going, to keep doing, like, it's a constant circle for performers. And I don't know how they keep it up, to be honest.
I think that's why, too, sometimes people sit on songs that they recorded for a while as well. Like, if I don't have anything ready to go right now, but maybe if I was a little bit more strategic, I might get a few songs recorded and get all the content kind of ready to go for some content. Some of it has to be live and in person, but you have what you can do ready to go. So you're like, okay, I can sit down today and release this one. I can put the energy into promoting this and put the energy into promoting that. Versus, but I mean, it doesn't matter, because regardless, whenever you release a song, you're going to be busy.
But documenting the process gives you content for those days. You can have down days, right? If you document the process from driving to the studio and recording and all that sort of stuff, then you can drop one of those and then have a day's grace.
Yeah.
That's probably not a bad way to do it, People love that behind the scenes stuff. That's the stuff they want. They don't care about you playing a song. They care about what you were thinking about when you were playing the song,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's
and it is about connecting.
Yeah. Mel, it has been wonderful having you on our show tonight, and finally, so
I'm sorry.
It's been a great. Yeah, that's all right. We'll blame the crocodiles, right? It's like what's that ad with the Great Wall of China and the rabbits?
The rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rabbits. That's right.
So we'll blame the crocodiles, right?
Crocodile stole my beer, had to go and get it.
So Mel, we'll have your links in our show notes. So if you've enjoyed, and we'll play snippets of your songs through the interview. So if you've liked Mel's music, and if you've liked what she's talked about and who she is, please make sure you follow her, and all her links are going to be in the show notes. But now don't run away. I've just got to do a quick wind down. So we've got a double episode this week. I'm hoping to have Mel's episode out, tomorrow for us. So that's Wednesday this week. And our next episode will be out on Friday with a band called the Wolf Whistle Wounds. And we were having a bit of a chat last night on the Unfiltered chat. They're very unique. It's and we're quite, the messaging within it is quite unique, and I think it's going to be a unique interview. A double episode, and it's so far removed from Tamworth it is not funny. So for those people that need a bit of a break from Tamworth and Golden Guitars and all of that stuff, make sure you tune into our show with Wolf Whistle Wounds. If you do want
feel
to
like it's going to be close to the Sex Guys?
I don't know. I
couldn't get a handle. It's hard, isn't it? It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. And talking about the Sex Guys, my God, I still have nightmares about that episode. he was just 3 million miles an hour, and just amazing. But anyway, if you do want to showcase your music, please reach out to us on any of our platforms, and please do. And often when I stumble across someone who's got a unique voice like Melanie on the Tom Curtin show, I'm going to reach out to you. So please be aware. But if you love what you heard, hit follow, share the show, and dig deeper into our Spotify playlist. Mel's music will be added to our Every Damn Song playlist and our playlist called Fresh Female Country Artists. We have more artists, more stories, more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. and we will see you all again next time. Thanks again, Mel. It's been awesome having you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, honestly. It's so nice to just have a nice conversation with people that actually love music and care about the industry. So I do genuinely feel really honored. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.
I got a pretty little spot here right on the bend of the creek. I throw out my line, catch a little fish. Life is all about this, all about this, all about this. I throw out my line, catch a little fish.